Well, good morning, church family. I hope that today finds you well, and I hope that it also finds you prepared for a good weekend. For our passage today, I'd like us to turn to Hebrews chapter 12, and we'll look at a few verses there. We're also going to look at 1 Thessalonians 5:19. I don't know how good you are at receiving correction or discipline, as it's called in Scripture. Hebrews 12:5 says, "My son, do not despise the chastening of the Lord, nor be discouraged when you are rebuked by him." I've had different people rebuke me in my life, and that's really a correction. And it happens like this. On the football field, it was Coach Rocky Hubbard, and we were losing a game. I was captain of the football team, and thus, with that role, had additional levels of responsibility. And during the halftime encouragement speech of the game we were losing, he was at the chalkboard, and he asked me a question amid all the players, and he said, "Randy, who do you block on a 55 ice?" And I gave the incorrect answer. And he said, "No, it's the linebacker." And when he said linebacker, he hit the chalkboard and he broke it. And that correction left a mark on me. In the Army, I remember Drill Sergeant Samuel L. Brown, who was standing over me as he was teaching me basic rifle marksmanship, and he had a range marker in his hand, which is really a long white on one side, red on the other, heavy kind of metal paddle. And he said something to me, and I turned around, and of course, being new, I turned around with the rifle in hand, loaded rifle in hand, and Drill Sergeant Brown smacked the end of the muzzle of the rifle with that range marker, and then he smacked me on the head, and he said, "You never turn around with a loaded weapon, and you never point a loaded weapon in a place you don't intend to use it." And that correction left a mark on me. I'm reminded of, as a youth leader in church in Cincinnati, and one of the elders there, Mel Edgar, was copied on a note that I sent to some of the youth of a funny audio file. I emailed out an audio file. And while it was funny, there was one word in there that was inappropriate, and I really didn't pay attention to it. But Mel did, and he came up in church the following Sunday and put his arm around me and told me that what I had done, what I had sent, was inappropriate, and that I needed to fix that. And that correction left a mark on me. What about corrections in your life? When God comes along through people, and either through external circumstances, proving a point, or something happening like a blackboard breaking, or being touched by someone in a way, how have you experienced that in your life? God does that with us. He offers us correction. He offers us course adjustments along the way. And we could either get discouraged and give up and walk away, or say that it's not from God because we don't want to change. But really what we need to do is take that discipline, and when the Spirit of God gives us a sense of warning or restraint, or a sense of what we've done wrong, or a pain of guilt because something didn't go, we don't want to quench the Spirit. We want to listen to that, and we want to see that we make those adjustments in our lives. 1 Thessalonians 5:19 says this: "Do not quench the Spirit, and do not despise him when he says to you, in effect, 'Don't be blind on this point anymore. You are not as far along spiritually as you thought you were. Until now, I have not been able to reveal this to you, but I'm revealing it to you now.'" disciplines us and He has His way with us, are we allowing Him to perfect that work and to do that work in us? We're told not to be discouraged when we're rebuked by Him. And sometimes I know I begin to pout or I get irritated and I make excuses. But when I come full circle, like I did this morning, I was rebuked by God and His Word about how I treat my family when I'm stressed or when I'm feeling overwhelmed. And, particular people pay the price for that. And He's told me I need to fix that. So even up to most recent moments today, God's working on me, and I hope He's working on you. I hope that when you face this sometime today or this weekend, when you face a rebuke from God or you face a course correction, that you'll let that happen and not kick against it and not rebel against it. Sanctification is what it's called when we are made more holy and when we're made right with God. And that sanctification is a process over time. It's not something that happens right away. And through these course corrections, that's how we are sanctified. And sanctification is not my idea of what I want God to do for me. It's God's idea of what He wants to do for me. But He has to get me in a state of mind and in a spirit where I'll allow Him to sanctify me completely, whatever that cost may be. So, church family, where are you being goaded? Where are you being prodded? Where are you being disciplined right now? Recognize that for what it is and make the proper correction. I love you. The shepherds, we enjoy doing these things for you. And I hope that this blessed you today. And for those of you that are able, we will see you on Sunday. God bless you, and have a great weekend.